The U.S. military is widely known as the most technologically advanced on Earth, with a budget that's larger than the next 8 militaries combined. It has brought revolutionary technologies to warfighting, such as GPS precision-guided munitions, the fastest aircraft ever created, and the toughest tanks on Earth. Yet for all its technological prowess, you'd be surprised to learn that the U.S. military still largely operates on a 17-year-old platform, Windows XP. The U.S. military is hardly unique in its refusal to upgrade to newer versions of Windows after the release of Windows XP, and in 2014 when Microsoft officially ended supporting the aging platform, it still accounted for 30% of operating systems worldwide. Within the Pentagon's several million computers, about 3% of them are still running Windows XP. While the various branches of the military have undergone efforts to replace the aging operating system, the simple truth is that it's just not as easy as a quick software upgrade. Many of the Pentagon's computers run what are called mission-critical functions, and that means that these computers cannot be at risk of failing ever. New operating systems come with new risks and vulnerabilities, while old software may have its own flaws but is proven and reliable. In the chaos of war, you always want to bet on reliable, so the U.S. military spends millions on contracts with Microsoft to maintain support for platforms from Windows XP to Windows 2003 and other legacy Microsoft products, support no other organization in the world gets. Yet legacy computing systems come with serious downsides that only pile up as time goes on. Legacy systems lag behind state-of-the-art computing until, as described by Cynthia Dion-Schwartz, a senior scientist at the RAND Corps, you start to feel like it's being held together with chewing gum and duct tape. Massive performance slowdowns aren't the only problem with using legacy systems though, as military personnel may actually find it difficult to use these older systems due to outdated or clunky interfaces and their own exposure to modern systems. The biggest risk, however, is cybersecurity. While legacy systems have been thoroughly explored and vetted over the years that they were supported by Microsoft and in wide use, they may still contain hidden system flaws deep within their code that could be exploited by hackers. Newer systems, meanwhile, enjoy the benefit of being in active use by millions or billions of people, with vulnerabilities and flaws being constantly discovered, identified, and quickly fixed by Microsoft. It's a strange conundrum for the U.S. military. Older systems have the benefit of age and thus have likely had the bulk of security flaws and bugs already discovered and addressed. But because fewer and fewer people use them, any undiscovered flaws could be that much more catastrophic if exploited. Meanwhile, newer systems have a lot of undiscovered flaws and bugs, but due to the massive amounts of people using them, they can be quickly discovered and corrected. The solution may sound easy. Just use a fraction of the massive Pentagon's budget to upgrade all computers to the latest version of Windows. How hard could it really be? Upgrading administrative computers would pose very little challenge, even for an organization as large as the U.S. military. In 2018, the U.S. Army upgraded 950,000 Office IT computers to Windows 10 and became the first military branch to complete the Windows 10 upgrade push. The U.S. Air Force followed next, hitting its targets in the spring of 2018, and the U.S. Navy hitting theirs by summer 2018. Yet, even these massive numbers of computer upgrades are not the whole story. The truth is that most of the U.S. military's computers aren't sitting in air-conditioned offices as they may be with a large corporation. Instead, most of the U.S. military's computers are flying in aircraft and floating in vessels all around the world. Upgrading those computers means tinkering with computer systems that directly support active military operations and might even directly control navigation or weapon systems for tanks, warplanes, and warships. Known as Windows boxes, these computers host specialized software that is mission critical, and that means that any upgrade must be thoroughly tested to ensure it's compatible with the specialized software. What would normally be a simple upgrade that asks you to insert a disk and click a mouse button turns into a delicate operation that requires a new operating system to be thoroughly vetted to interface and work with the highly specialized software that fires the tank's guns, regulates a jet fighter's engines, or keeps a multi-billion-dollar aircraft carrier on course. Plus, that specialized weapon system, navigation, and communication software was typically built specifically to be used with the legacy Windows system that its computer uses. This can make upgrading to a new version of Windows extremely risky and tricky both. In the words of Thomas Sasala, the director of the U.S. Army Architecture Integration Center and Chief Data Officer, we cannot risk deploying a mission-critical solution to the field and have it fail during a critical mission. When lives are at risk and military success is on the line, it's no surprise that the U.S. military is reluctant and slow to upgrade from Windows XP. But the truth is that as time goes on, keeping its most sensitive mission-critical computer systems running a legacy operating system may expose them to critical cybersecurity threats. Upgrades are necessary, but any upgrades must never put the US's warfighting capabilities at risk. And with all the vetting and testing necessary to ensure that goal, it's likely that by the time Windows XP is phased out completely from US military computer systems, the Windows version that they're installed with will already be at the end of its lifetime. If you like this video, make sure to check out why is the government terrified of this hacker. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you next time.